Good morning, students. Let us begin lesson 3, Our Changing Earth. The lithosphere is broken into number of plates known as lithospheric plates. You will be surprised to know that these plates move around very slowly, just a few millimeters each year, because of the movement of the molten magma inside the earth. The molten magma inside the earth moves in a circular manner. The movement of these plates causes changes on the surface of the earth. The earth movement are divided on the basis of force. The forces which act interior of the earth are called endogenic forces, and forces that works on the surface of the earth are called exogenic forces. Let us see the earth movement. The earth movement takes place due to tectonic plates that moves and that produces the endogenic forces and exogenic forces. Endogenic forces sometimes produce sudden movements and at the other time produces slow movement. Sudden movement like earthquake and volcanoes causes mass destruction over the surface of the earth. Let us see volcanoes. A volcano is a vent in the earth crust through which molten material erupts suddenly. You can see the figure 2.3. The gases and aces comes out from the volcanoes and it makes a crater, a vent, lava and crust and metal. How the earthquake comes? Let us see. The surface of the earth vibrates. The vibration can travel all around the earth. These vibrations are called earthquake. Focus. The places in the crust where the movement starts is called focus. The place on the surface above the focus is called the epicenter. Vibration travels towards from epicenter as wave, and greatest damage is usually closest to the epicenter, and the strength of the earthquake decreases away from the center. You can see the figure number 3.3, origin of an earthquake. This is where the earthquake occurs. It is the origin of the seismic energy that brings the earthquake strongly. Earthquake has taken place in different parts of the world and the measurement also done in differently. For example, we have taken the Bhuj town on 26th January 2001 and there was massive destruction. With this, the earthquake, how to escape or how we are going to preparedness for that. First, safe spot. Second, stay away from fireplaces and chimneys, windows, shutter, including mirror and picture frames. Be prepared. Spread awareness amongst your friends and family members and face many disasters confidently. The next topic is major landforms. The landscape is being continuous, worn away by two processes, weathering and erosion. Weathering is the breaking up of the rock on the earth's surface. Erosion is the wearing away of the landscape by different agents like water, wind, and ice. The eroded material is carried away or transported by water, wind, etc. This process of erosion and disposition creates different landforms on the surface of the earth. Works of a river. The running water in the river erodes the landscape when the river tumbles at a steep angle over very hard rocks or down on the steep valley side. It forms a waterfall. See the figure 3.4, how the waterfall makes. As the river enters the plain, it twists and turns, forming large bends known as meanders, like a snake. Due to the continuous erosion and disposition along the sides of the meander, the ends of the meander loop comes closer and closer. Due to course of time, the meander loop cut off from the river and forms the cut off lake, also called an oxbow lake. At, at times, the river overflows its bank. It deposits layers of fine soil and other materials called sediments along its banks. This leads to the formation of a flat, fertile floodplain. Another topic we are going to see is work of sea waves. The erosion and deposition of the sea waves give rise to coastal landforms. Sea waves continuously strike at the rocks. Strikes develop. Over time, they become larger and wider. Thus, hollow like caves are formed on the rocks. They are called sea caves. As these cavities become bigger and bigger, only the roof of the caves remains, thus forming sea arches. Further erosion breaks the roof and only walls are left. These wall like features are called stocks. The steep rocky coast rising amongst vertically above sea water are called sea cliffs. The sea waves deposit sediments along the shores, forming beaches. Another topic we are going to deal, that is works of ice. Glaciers are rivers of ice which too erode the landscape by bulldozing soils and stones to expose the solid rocks below. Glaciers curve out deep hollows. As the ice melts, they get filled up with water and become beautiful lakes in the mountains. The material carried by the glacier, such as rocks, big and small, sands, and slits, gets deposited. These deposits form glacier moraines. Another topic we are going to study is work of wind. An active agent of erosion and deposition in the desert is wind. In desert, you can see rock in the shape of mushroom, commonly called mushroom rocks. Winds erodes the lower section of the rock more than the upper part. Therefore, such rocks have narrower base and wider top. When the wind blows, it lifts and transports sand from one place to another. When it stops blowing, the sand falls and gets deposited in the lower hill like a structure. These are called sand dunes. Figure number 3.9, you can see how the sand dunes are built. When the grains of sand are very fine and light, the wind can carry it over very long distances. When such sand is deposited in the large areas, is called lucens. Large deposit of lucerne is found in China. So dear students, this is the chapter 3. We have learned how the earth is changing. Recap of lesson 3, our changing earth. The main point is movement of the earth, earthquakes, volcanoes, major landforms, work of rivers, work of waves, work of ice, work of winds. So all these major points are given. Thank you students for listening. We will see the question answer in the next video. So have a nice day.